Hi, my name's Sarah Franklin and I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing at Impact Data. And we partner with Idealpos to present Idealpos Engage. What is Idealpos Engage? It's the combination of Idealpos loyalty and the automated retention and engagement communications that Impact Data delivers from our digital marketing application, TalkBox. So today I'm going to take you through what Idealpos Engage looks like from the communications angle. So let's jump into it and have a look. Here's what a TalkBox account looks like. We've got the contacts, how many people you've got signed up via email and mobile, and how big your database is growing. And here you can see that it's a connected account to Idealpos, and each day that connection updates the contacts in the database and also the transactions and the loyalty information. So that allows us to understand what triggers we need to use and to utilize to actually get your customers to come back more often, because that's what it's all about. It's getting more visits more often without you having to lift a finger. So let's jump in and see what Idealpos Engage is all about. The first thing to talk about is the fields. So Idealpos Engage kicks off with the member acquisition, and we have created a digital member card where customers can sign up via a QR code that you can place all around the venue, and that digital member card can then be downloaded and put in the Google or Apple wallet. So it's a fantastic way for your brand to stay right in your customer's phone. And we're starting to see with our early adoption that's actually starting to get some great traction, and customers are really enjoying that experience. So we've got the customer signed up, they've got a digital member card, and they're part of your loyalty program. And with Idealpos, you could have points, visits, or member benefits, whatever combination works for you that drives that ongoing visitation. And remember that the key is that the customer needs to identify themselves in the transaction so that we can understand their behavior. When they do that, that data flows into TalkBox, and we then analyze it to trigger the right message at the right time with the right offer to drive that customer back on premise for your business. So the data that we capture: first name, last name, mobile, email, date of birth, and permission to market. These are the things that we will capture when they sign up for the digital member card. And therefore allows us to trigger, a welcome message, a birthday message, and some really important early messaging to make sure that we're establishing the relationship correctly. So we've got that data here. We can go back over time and do what we call an update details campaign, where we might ask the customer whether they're local, so that we get a sense of, are they going to be visiting regularly, or should we perhaps communicate to them a little less regularly because they're not a local. But of course, we get the loyalty information, so we get their points if you're using points, or we calculate the visits. Then TalkBox does some really clever analysis on the data from the transactions from your customer. And we look for things like first visit date, the last date that they visited. We calculate the total number of visits, and we use an AI engine to calculate their expected next visit date. So if they've had 3 visits, we know when we expect to see them next time. And if they don't visit then, we will trigger a late or a lost type communication, because obviously they've started to trend away. So we don't want that to happen. So that automated message is one of our most important one, and that is triggered by our expected next visit date. So these fields that are updated each day on every contact. So for example, if they didn't visit, it will be another date added to the day since last visit field. And then we calculate the visit frequency and spend range. So with the visit frequency, the top 25% will be in the high range, and the bottom 25% will be in the low, and then the middle will be 50, and it's the same with spend. So we've got top 25%, bottom 25%, and the middle 50. And what that allows you to do when we come over to here to filters is when we put those fields together, we start to get a sense of some marketing segments that we're able to target. So we've got get more spend, which is customers who are visiting pretty frequently, but their spend is below average. Or there are customers who spend well, but they don't visit as frequently as others. So those are we might target them for some specific campaigns. When we pull through your data into TalkBox from Idealpos, we'll actually create all of these filters, so we'll immediately understand where your loyalty program is at. Now, no problem if you're new to loyalty, that's fine. But if your program has been established for a while, these segments or these filters will populate immediately, and we'll be able to actually understand where some of the great opportunities are in your database. So you might have a percentage of your customers where their expected next visit date is in the past, which means they're lost. You might have a percentage of your customers that have visiting, but they're not identifying themselves in the transaction. So we need to make sure that they're engaging with the loyalty program so that we can modify, understand their behavior and talk to them when we need to. So these are the filters that would get set up for your account, but the magic happens when we go over to the automated messages. Now, we have been at this for 20 plus years, so we understand the messages that will drive your customer engagement. And they are a mixture of welcome and on board, retain, surprise and delight, and engage. And of course, as you saw, your database is all in here. You've got some marketing ready fields, and we will support you to send your own messages over and above these automated messages. But if you don't have time for that, no worries. We will keep your program ticking over with these automated messages. So we start with welcoming a customer, funnily enough. And the great thing about we do here is we actually ask them for some feedback. So we might send them an offer. Often it'll be something like a free drink or a low value offer just to get that next visit. If you've got a booking or reservation partner, we'll include that as a booking link to try and boost your bookings. And that's another source of data as well. If you do have a reservation partner that Impact Data works with, we can ingest that information, identify that they're not a member, and automatically trigger a welcome and suggest that they become a member. The other item that we add is what we call feedback. And this is a global question which asks how likely would you be to recommend us to a friend? And based on the answer, the number that the customer selects, they'll get a different automated response. If it's a 0 to 6, they haven't had a great experience, and we obviously want to give them a chance to vent, but keep them off the socials. So we'll direct them to another email address and give them a chance. They are asked for feedback and comments so that you can see how they're feeling. 7s or 8s are what we call neutral, and we just want to say thank you so much for that feedback. And 9s or 10s are what we call promoters, and we ask them to give you a review over on your Google page or your TripAdvisor or whatever's relevant for your business. And that can really help build your reviews, and of course that helps drive your SEO. Now, importantly, you will receive all of these responses immediately to your email address. So you can jump on them if you need to, and you can also monitor them over time so you can see what your customer sentiment is. And a little tip, the Net Promoter Score average for hospitality is around 32. So once you start getting a few scores and you see how you're tracking, let's hope you're doing better than 32. But as you can see, we have a voucher in this communication, and with our partners Idealpos, that is a really seamless experience for your customer. All they have to do is present this email or SMS message, and you need to scan the QR code at the point of sale. That will automatically redeem it, reconcile it, and report it, and we will know that that customer has redeemed that voucher. Now, they're single-use vouchers. They can only be used once. We set the expiry date, and of course we set what the voucher is for. So in this case, it's a free drink. And we work with you as part of our onboarding process to do that. We've got some feedback and data of what works in certain parts of the hospitality sector, but we'll obviously work with you to make sure that we're finding that balance between maximizing that next visit but not giving away too much margin. Okay, so that's what an automated message would look like. As you can see, there's no branding on this one, but I can promise you that your brand, so let's just drop one in here, your brand would actually be added right up the top so that it's front and center and you can see exactly what the communication would look like. We also include a footer which will have your links to your socials and links to your URL and things like that. So it actually creates a really lovely branded experience. So that's an example of what an automated communication to welcome a customer would look like. So if we go back to the other messages, which I in the wrong section, here we go, date triggered. The next type of communication we're trying to do is get that second visit. We want to try and turn that first time customer into a loyal regular. And how we do that is making sure that they keep ticking over. So every 30, 60 or 120 days, if they haven't had a visit, we will trigger another message. And that's what we call a revisit type message. Again, you don't have to worry about that. That'll all be automated for you. Once we've got the customer through to that important milestone of the third visit, and they've started to build a relationship with your brand by then, we can calculate their expected next visit, and that's when we trigger the late, lost, and reactivate and regular recapture type communications, where they might have been quite regular but they've gone missing. Again, this is like having your own customer analyst that's looking at your data and saying, oh, these 7 people are lost today, and you know what? The great news is you don't have to do anything about it. TalkBox will send that message on your behalf and try and get that customer back in. And even better news is we won't stop at 1. We'll keep going. The important part about TalkBox, as you can see here, you can see a little envelope and a SMS message. We can send the communications via mobile and email, which means that we get 100% of the reach and that we're reaching the customer in the channel that they want to be receiving information from you. Because it's not always obvious which one. They'll unsubscribe if they don't want to receive it in a particular channel, or they might engage with one channel over the other. The next type of message, good old-fashioned birthday message. Everyone loves a birthday, but probably your business might actually want to get some functions out of birthdays. So if you're a pub or you're a restaurant, we will actually target that customer leading up to their milestone birthday to try and win that function business. So we'll talk to them a few months before, suggest they come in and check out your function area. If instead of functions you might do catering, you might be a bakery and you want to get the cake order, or you want to get all of the afternoon tea orders, we would change that to a catering type offer where we're just triggering a message in plenty of time to make sure that you're top of mind when they're considering who their partner is to celebrate their birthday with. And of course, we want to send them an offer around their birthday, free drink, free meal, whatever is going to work for your business and make them feel loved and supported. This is a really important offer and it should be unencumbered. It should be just give it for no reason other than it's their birthday. And so that makes the customer feel special. The third type of messages that Idealpos Engage supports clients with is what we call recurring messages. Now, I mentioned functions before. Again, if it was catering for your business, we would send out a functional catering message every quarter, because you never know when someone's in the market for catering or when they're having a function, and it's just keeping your brand top of mind. It's also really important to regularly talk to your whole database over the course of the year, because it keeps it fresh, keeps customers engaged, keeps your brand top of mind. So that's why we have these whole of database communications as well, and we encourage you to add the ones that you want to send. If you're doing gift cards, we obviously want to try and help you sell gift cards. So we'll again send that message out every quarter, and that message would be available as a template for you to send coming into key gifting occasions like Christmas or Valentine's Day or Father's Day or things like that. So those messages will all be set up for you. We'll work through them, activate them, and when you go live, your customers will be really engaged and finding enormous value in your Idealpos Engage program. Tracking success is probably the last thing I need to show you, and we have a bunch of reports. So every communication has its own report in terms of the automated communications, but you can go and see the performance of how many people clicked on a link in, if you sent out a promotion or things like that. You can see the Net Promoter Score survey question to see how you're going there. You can see how your vouchers are being redeemed, and really importantly, you can see how your whole account is performing. Now, of course, this is a demo account, so it doesn't have any information in it. But what a normal account would have in here is the percentage of your contacts that visited, how many visits that was, and the sales associated with those visits. They are really key metrics to help you understand how successful your loyalty program is being. Those data points are available on the 8th of every month, and you'll be able to really get a sense of how the program is engaging with your customers and driving your bottom line. So hopefully I've given you a lot of things to think about today with looking at Idealpos Engage. It's a really well thought out, comprehensive range of communications that will drive your program, but it can also be added to with your knowledge and expertise of your customers and what you want to tell them. So hopefully I've answered your questions about what Idealpos Engage does today. If not, talk to your Idealpos staff, and I look forward to working with you.